They said his beast was untamable, a monster that had devoured 3 healers and left his kingdom in terror. But when the forgotten herbalist's daughter walked into his cage with nothing but dried moonveil and a steady heartbeat, she did what no one else could. She looked the beast in the eyes and whispered, "I see you." And the Alpha King, trapped in his own cursed body, finally knew what it meant to be saved. The scent of fear has a taste. Metallic. Sharp. It coats the back of my throat as I stand in the narrow stone corridor outside the king's sealed chamber. The walls here are old, built from black stone quarried from the northern abyss, and they weep with moisture that never dries. Torches flicker in iron sconces, their light weak and hesitant, as if even fire is afraid to burn too brightly in this place. This is the forbidden wing of Shadowcrest Keep, the place where they locked him away. King Cadmus Ravencroft, the Alpha King of the Silverpine Dominion, or what's left of him. I clutch my worn leather satchel tighter, feeling the dried bundles of moonveil and nightshade root shift inside. My fingers trace the familiar shapes, my only comfort. I am Elira Ashwin, daughter of a dead herbalist, granddaughter of a forgotten healer. I am nobody. I have no rank, no title, no pack status worth mentioning. I live in the outer reaches, where the packlands meet the wild woods, in a cottage that smells of drying herbs and old grief. I should not be here. The guards who escorted me this far, 2 stone-faced sentinels with dead eyes, stand on either side of the iron-reinforced door. They haven't spoken a word since they collected me from my cottage at dawn. The summons came on blackened parchment sealed with the royal crest. It was not a request. It was a command. "Last chance to turn back, girl," one guard finally mutters. His voice is rough, like gravel scraped over bone. 3 healers have gone in. None came out whole. The beast doesn't distinguish between enemy and ally anymore. I swallow hard. My mouth is dry. What happened to them? The other guard's jaw tightens. First one lost an arm. Second one lost her mind. Third one, he stops, shakes his head. Third one we don't talk about. The beast. That's what they call him now. Not the king, not the alpha, just the beast. 6 months ago, King Cadmus was cursed by a scorned witch from the Eastern Covens, a punishment for rejecting her daughter's marriage proposal. The curse was elegant in its cruelty. It didn't kill him, it transformed him, forced his wolf form to the surface and locked it there, twisting it into something darker, more savage, a monster that knows only rage and pain. His council has tried everything: spellbreakers, priestesses, healers trained in the ancient ways. All have failed. And now, in their desperation, they have scraped the bottom of the barrel. They have summoned me, the half-blood herbalist's daughter who lives in the woods and talks to plants. I am their last pathetic hope. The guard reaches for the heavy iron bolt. "Your funeral," he says, and slides it open. The door groans inward, exhaling a breath of cold, stale air that smells of blood, sweat, and something wild, something wrong. My heart hammers against my ribs. Every instinct screams at me to run, but I think of my grandmother's last words, whispered on her deathbed. True healing requires the courage to face what others flee. I step through the door, and it slams shut behind me, the bolt sliding home with a finality that sounds like a grave closing. I am alone with the beast. The chamber is larger than I expected, circular, with a domed ceiling that disappears into shadow. The floor is covered in straw that has been shredded and scattered. Dark stains mark the stone beneath, blood, old and new. Claw marks gouge the walls so deeply I could fit my fist inside them. And in the center, chained to a massive iron post, is the beast. He is enormous, twice the size of any wolf I've ever seen. His fur black as a starless night, matted with blood and filth. Heavy chains bind his legs and neck, rubbing his skin raw. He doesn't move when I enter. He just stares with eyes like molten amber. Intelligent, furious, utterly mad. My breath catches. I force myself to breathe slowly, evenly. Fear is a language predators understand. Show it, and you've already lost. Hello, I say softly. The beast's lip curls, revealing dagger-like teeth. A low growl rumbles from his chest, vibrating through the stone. I should be terrified. I am terrified. But beneath the fear lives something else. A pull I've felt my whole life. A recognition, like calling to like. I've always been different. Wrong, my mother said before she died of wasting sickness when I was 7. My father, the herbalist, was kinder. He called me sensitive. Said I could hear what others couldn't. The language of growing things, the whispers of the wounded. But sensitivity in a world that values strength is just another word for weakness. After he drowned 5 years ago, swept away gathering riverbank sage, I learned to survive alone. I learned that people fear what they don't understand. The pack tolerates me because I make poultices and tinctures, but they don't trust me, never have. Half-blood, they call me. My mother was an omega, but my father was a wanderer, possibly human, possibly something else. That uncertainty marks me, keeps me on the fringes where I'm useful but never belong. And now I'm here, facing a cursed king who has destroyed 3 people more qualified than me. I'm not here to hurt you, I say, stepping forward. The beast's growl intensifies. Chains rattle as he shifts, muscles bunching. I stop. I'm a Lyra. I make healing things. Another step. My grandmother said every wound wants to heal. It just needs the right conditions. The beast lunges. Chains snap taut with a metallic shriek, stopping him feet away. His jaws snap shut on empty air. Saliva drips from his fangs. His eyes are wild, empty of reason. I don't run. Maybe because running is what I've done my whole life, from grief, loneliness, from a world with no place for me. Instead, I sink to my knees, making myself smaller. I know you're in there, I whisper. I know you're still in there, King Cadmus. And I'm not leaving you. The beast goes still. For one heartbeat, something flickers in those amber eyes, something like hope. Then he howls, a sound so full of anguish and rage it freezes my blood. And I understand. He's not just cursed. He's trapped, imprisoned in his own body, aware but unable to control the monster he's become. That's when I decide. I'm going to save him. Not because they commanded me, not because I'm their last hope, but because I know what it's like to be trapped, to be seen as a monster when you're just broken. Before I can second-guess myself, footsteps echo outside. The door groans open, and 3 figures enter with the careful authority of those accustomed to obedience. The woman in front wears black and silver council robes, iron gray hair pulled tight, eyes that assess me like livestock. Chancellor Morvain, the king's chief advisor. Behind her, a scarred man in ornate armor, General Torval, commander of the king's shadow guard. And finally, a younger woman in white and gold priestess vestments. Priestess Sylvain looks at me with something like pity. You're still alive, Chancellor Morvain observes. Remarkable. I rise, aware of my mud-stained skirts and worn boots. I smell of herbs and wood smoke, while they smell of power and perfume. He didn't attack, I say. He didn't kill you immediately, the general corrects. There's a difference. He eyes the beast. The question is whether you can do what needs to be done. And what exactly needs to be done? Chancellor Morvain steps forward. King Cadmus Ravencroft is Alpha of Alphas, ruler of the Silverpine Dominion and 4 vassal territories. His bloodline has held the throne for 600 years. Without him, the kingdom fractures. The southern lords circle like vultures. The eastern covens grow bolder. We stand on the precipice of civil war. We need our king back, General Torval says bluntly. Whole, Sane, capable of ruling. Priestess Sylvain adds softly, the curse is blood magic, bound with intent. It can only be broken by one who can reach him through the monster's rage, someone he trusts. He doesn't know me. How can he trust me? That's your task, Chancellor Morvain says coldly. You have 1 week. If you cannot break the curse by the next full moon, we'll be forced to alternative measures. The way she says it chills me. You mean kill him? We mean ensure the kingdom's survival, by whatever means necessary. Her eyes are flint. The council has identified suitable successors, distant cousins, less powerful, but controllable. I look at the beast and see his ears flatten, body rigid. He understands. He knows they're discussing his execution like a political necessity. What happened to the other healers? Heavy silence. Finally, Priestess Sylvain speaks. The first tried magical bindings. She lost her arm. The second attempted a psychic link. She's still screaming in the healing ward. The third believed she could sedate him with poisoned meat. She swallows. He consumed it. And her. My knees weaken. And you think I can succeed? Honestly? Chancellor Morvain's smile is thin, cruel. No, but you're expendable. A half-blood herbalist with no family, no connections, no political value. If you fail and die, it costs us nothing. If you succeed, the kingdom is saved. She shrugs. A gamble with no downside for us. There it is. The truth. I'm not here because they believe in me. I'm here because I'm worthless enough to sacrifice. General Torval sets a key on the floor. That unlocks the chains. Food and water come twice daily through the door slot. Basic supplies in the corner. Bedding, chamber pot, wash basin. We'll check in 3 days. Try not to be dead. They turn to leave. Wait. What if I need help? You won't get it, Chancellor Morvain says without turning. The door seals from outside. If the beast breaks free, the entire wing collapses. You'll be buried together. She looks back with something like satisfaction. Consider it motivation. The door closes. The bolt slides home. I'm alone with the beast and impossible expectations. I spend the first hour watching him. The beast paces within his chain's reach in a constant, restless circle. Back and forth, back and forth. The chains scrape and clink. His breathing is harsh, labored. Those collars are rubbing his neck raw with every movement. The room is freezing. A single torch provides meager light and less warmth. In the corner, I find a thin bedroll, a chamber pot, and a wash basin with stale water. This is where I'm expected to live for the next week, a prison within a prison. I open my satchel and take inventory. Dried moon veil, a sedative that grows only during the dark moon. Nightshade root, dangerous in large doses, useful for pain in small amounts. Silver leaf for inflammation, raven's breath for calming, and my grandmother's mortar and pestle carved from white ash. Not much, but it's all I have. All right, I say aloud. The beast stops pacing, head swiveling toward me. Here's what I'm thinking. Those collars are hurting you. I can make a salve, but I need to get close enough to apply it. A low rumble, not quite a growl. A warning. I know, you don't trust me, that's fair. I pull out moonveil, crushing leaves between my fingers. The scent is sharp, minty. But pain makes everything worse. Harder to think, harder to fight the curse. And I think you're fighting, every moment trying to stay human. The beast tilts his head. There's something achingly human in that gesture. I mix moonveil with nightshade root and water, creating a paste. My hands shake. I'm going to move toward you now. Slowly. If you want me to stop, growl louder. I stand. One step, another. The beast watches but doesn't move. I'm halfway across the chamber now, close enough to see individual hairs of his fur, the way his sides heave with each breath. That's it. I murmur. Just here to help. 3 steps away. 2. The paste ready in my palm. I reach out slowly toward the nearest collar. The beast's lips peel back. A warning snarl. I freeze. I know, I whisper. I know you're scared. I'm scared too. But we're going to get through this together. You're not alone anymore. For a long moment, nothing. We're frozen, me with my hand extended, him with fangs bared. Then, so slowly I almost miss it, he lowers his head. Just an inch. But it's enough. I press my paste-covered fingers to the raw skin beneath the collar. He flinches, whines, but doesn't pull away, doesn't attack. I work quickly, spreading salve around the collar's entire circumference, then moving to the others at his legs. There, I breathe. That should help. The moon veil will numb the pain. Nightshade reduces inflammation. You should feel better soon. I step back. The beast stares at me with those amber eyes. For the first time, I see something besides rage, confusion, gratitude maybe. And beneath it all, a desperate, aching loneliness that mirrors my own. I see you, I say softly. I see who you really are. And I'm going to help you find your way back. That night, lying on the bedroll, exhausted but unable to sleep, I hear a sound. Soft, rhythmic. The beast is crying, not with tears, but with small, heartbroken whimpers that shake his massive frame. My own eyes burn. I made that sound when they pulled my father from the river, when I realized I was truly alone. It's all right, I whisper. You're not alone. Not anymore. The whimpering stops. In the heavy silence, something shifts between us. An understanding. A fragile, tentative connection. Tomorrow, the real work begins. The second day begins with a test. Food arrives through the door slot, dried meat, stale bread, and water for me. For the beast, they shove through a haunch of raw venison, still bloody. It lands with a wet thump. The beast moves toward it immediately, chains rattling. He's starving. They've been underfeeding him, afraid of making him stronger. But instead of tearing into the meat, he stops. Looks at me. Then back at the meat. I'm chewing tough bread. Go ahead, it's yours. He doesn't move, just stands there, massive body tense, trembling. Then I understand. He's waiting, asking permission. Some part of him, the human part, remembers protocol, remembers civilization. My throat tightens. You can eat. I'm not going to take it. He falls on the meat, tearing into it with desperate hunger. But even feeding, he's careful, doesn't lose himself completely. Stays aware, one ear angled toward me. When he finishes, blood staining his muzzle, he drinks from the water basin, then does something that stops my heart. He picks up the water skin near his chains, mine, and carries it carefully in his jaws to where I sit, sets it at my feet. He's sharing. This cursed, monstrous king is sharing his water with me. Thank you, I whisper. My eyes burn. That's very kind. He makes a sound, not quite a growl, not quite a whine, then does something even more extraordinary. He lies down in the middle of the chamber, between me and the door, positioning himself as a barrier, protecting me from anyone who might enter. I realize what the other healers missed. They saw a monster. They came with force, magic, fear. They tried to control him, bind him, sedate him. They treated him like a beast needing to be broken. But he doesn't need breaking. He's already shattered. What he needs is to be seen, treated with dignity and respect his human self craves. To be reminded, he's not just the curse. He's still a man, still a king, still worthy. I spend the day talking to him, not about the curse, just talking, about my cottage, the herbs I grow, the fox family that steals my vegetables, about my father, the day he died, how I blamed myself for not being there. Grief is funny, I say, grinding dried chamomile. The rhythmic sound soothes. It doesn't go away. You just learn to carry it. Some days it's lighter. Some days it crushes you. But you carry it because the weight proves what you lost mattered. The beast, Cadmus, lifts his head. His amber eyes are so intent, so present, I catch my breath. You're grieving too, aren't you? I say softly. Grieving the man you were, the life you had, the freedom. I set down the mortar. The council says you're cursed, dangerous, expendable. But I don't see a monster. I see someone fighting, someone surviving the only way he knows how. He rises and moves toward me. I tense but don't retreat. He comes close, so close I feel the heat from his body, smell the wild musk of his fur. Then, very gently, he presses his massive head against my shoulder. The weight is enormous, but I don't push him away. I've got you, I whisper, reaching up with trembling fingers to touch his fur. It's softer than expected beneath the matted exterior. I've got you, and I'm not letting go. We stay like that for a long time, a broken healer and a cursed king, finding comfort in the only other soul who understands what it means to be alone. That night, I dream of my grandmother. She's in her rocking chair by the hearth, knitting needles clicking rhythmically. The cottage smells of lavender and wood smoke. Elira, child, she says without looking up. You're trying to heal the wrong wound. What do you mean? I'm a child again, sitting at her feet. The curse. You treat it like a sickness of the body, but blood magic isn't born from blood. It's born from the heart. I don't understand. She sets down her knitting, meeting my eyes, pale gray, wise and kind. What breaks a man isn't the transformation. It's the isolation, the belief that he's monstrous, unlovable, alone. The witch didn't curse his body, she cursed his soul, made him believe he was a beast. And belief, child, is the most powerful magic. I wake, gasping. The chamber is dark except for dying embers. Cadmus sleeps beside me, massive body rising and falling. My grandmother's words echo. You're trying to heal the wrong wound. I've focused on the physical, the beast form, the chains, the curse's manifestation. But what if he's trapped not by magic, but by his own conviction that he's become a monster? But he hasn't lost his humanity. Not completely. He's still fighting, sharing water, protecting me. Those aren't beast actions. They're a man struggling to remember who he is. I sit up carefully. My satchel holds one more ingredient, dream veil, a rare flower that blooms only in the deepest forest. My grandmother gave it years ago with strict instructions. Use it only when someone needs to see their truest self. It's a truth teller, and truth can be crueler than any poison. I prepare it carefully, mixing dried petals with water and honey. The liquid glows faintly silver. Cadmus, I whisper, touching his shoulder. He wakes instantly. I need you to trust me. Really trust me. He tilts his head, considering, then presses his forehead against my palm. Yes. This is Dream Veil. It won't break the curse by itself, but it might help you see yourself clearly. Remember who you are beneath the beast. You'll sleep deeply and dream. It might be beautiful or terrifying, but it will be true. He looks at the cup, then at me. In his eyes, fear and hope. I'll be here the whole time. Right beside you. You won't be alone. He lowers his head to the cup and drinks. The effect is immediate. His eyes glaze, then close. His body sags. I guide his head down. Let go. Find yourself. I'm right here. His body trembles, not violently, but like he's cold. His paws twitch, his ears flatten. Whatever he's seeing isn't peaceful. I lie beside him, pressing my body against his, offering warmth. "You're not alone," I whisper over and over. "You're not a monster." Hours pass. The trembling worsens. He whimpers, a sound so broken it tears at my heart. Then, just before dawn, something changes. His body stills. The whimpering stops. In gray pre-dawn light, I see it. A single tear rolling from his closed eye, cutting through the fur on his face. Wolves can't cry, but men can. "That's it," I breathe. "Come back to us, Cadmus. Come back." When Cadmus wakes, something is different. His eyes open slowly, unfocused at first. Then they clear, and the intelligence in them is sharper, more present than before. He looks at me, really looks, and I see recognition. Not just of my face, but of everything I've done, everything we've shared. He rises, chains scraping. His movements are more fluid, controlled, less beast, more man. He tests the chains, pulling experimentally, frustration flashing across his features. "You want them off," I say. He nods, a very human gesture in a wolf's body. I retrieve the key, hands shaking. "If I do this, you have to promise something. You have to fight, really fight, not against the curse. You've been doing that. Fight to remember. Hold on to who you are." He presses his forehead against my hand. "I trust you. I hear you. I promise." The first collar opens with a click, then the second, third, fourth. One by one, I free him from 6 months of chains. When the last collar falls, he stands there, unchained for the first time since the curse took hold. For a moment, I'm afraid. He could kill me in seconds, could tear down the door and escape, could become the monster they all fear. But he doesn't. He looks at his freed legs, flexes his shoulders where the chains used to restrict him, then does something that makes my breath catch. He bows. A deep, formal bow, the kind a king gives to someone he respects. "You're welcome," I whisper, voice thick. "Now show them. Show them you're still in there." He lifts his head to the ceiling and howls. Not rage or pain, defiance, determination, hope. And then he begins to change. It's not smooth or easy. His body convulses, bones cracking and reforming. He collapses, writhing in agony. The transformation the curse forced was instant, violent. This is different. This is him fighting for every inch, clawing his way back through sheer will. I drop beside him, hands hovering uselessly. "You can do this. You're stronger than the curse, stronger than her magic. You're King Cadmus Ravencroft, and you're not letting some witch define you." His fur recedes. His muzzle shortens. His body shrinks and shifts. The sounds are horrible, wet, crunching, unnatural. But I don't look away. I stay right there, watching, bearing witness. "Keep going. Don't stop." His howl becomes a scream, human and raw. And then suddenly, he's there. Not a wolf, a man. Naked, covered in sweat and shaking, but human. He's younger than I expected, maybe 30. Strong features, sharp cheekbones, dark hair plastered to his skull. And those eyes, those amber eyes, are the same. "Elira," he rasps. His voice is rough from months of disuse, barely more than a whisper. But it's human. His voice. I grab my blanket and wrap it around his shoulders. He's freezing, his body shuddering with transformation's aftermath. "I've got you," I say, pulling him into my arms. He's all hard muscle and sharp edges, but curls into me like he's trying to become smaller. "You did it." "The curse," he manages. "Is it?" "I don't know, but you shifted back. That's more than you've done in 6 months. He pulls back to look at me. Up close, his face is devastating, beautiful and fierce, and marked by suffering. You saved me. We saved each other, I correct. The door explodes inward. Chancellor Morvain stands in the doorway with General Torval and armed guards. They're here to execute, not check on us. The full moon rises tonight, she says coldly. Your time is... She stops, seeing Cadmus in human form. Impossible. Your Majesty, General Torval breathes, dropping to one knee. The guards follow. But Morvain doesn't kneel. Her hand moves to the vial, the transformation serum. This proves nothing. The curse could reassert. No. Cadmus's voice is stronger now. He rises, blanket wrapped around his waist, radiating authority despite being naked and weakened. You will not touch me with that poison, and you will not threaten Elira ever again. Sire, I know what you're suggesting, Chancellor. I was trapped but aware. I heard everything, every threat, every cruel word. His amber eyes are cold. She's the only one who saw me as worth saving, who treated me with dignity when you would have killed me. Morvain pales. The kingdom will endure. But under new leadership, you're stripped of your position. General, take her to the dungeons. Guards drag the protesting chancellor away. Cadmus sways. I catch him. Easy, I murmur. You've just broken a blood curse. Priestess Sylvain steps forward, awed. Your Majesty, breaking a curse like that should have been impossible. Nothing is impossible with the right motivation, Cadmus says, looking at me. Elira gave me a reason to fight it. But how? General Torval asks, confused. What did she do differently? She treated me like a person, Cadmus says simply. Not a king. Not a beast. Just a person who needed to be seen. Priestess Sylvain's eyes grow distant. The old texts speak of true mate bonds having power to break even the darkest curses. Perhaps that's what saved you. The bond itself. We've known each other less than a week, I protest. The soul recognizes its match instantly, the priestess says gently. Cadmus's hand finds mine. When I was trapped in darkness, her voice was the only thing that could reach me. Her kindness was the only light. It means everything, I whisper. Your Majesty, General Torval says, we need to move you to royal chambers, get you proper care, and address the kingdom. Cadmus nods. But first, he turns to me. Elira Ashwin, you saved my life, my soul. Name your reward. Anything in my power. I think about my old life. The cottage. Being the half-blood herbalist, tolerated but never accepted. Alone with plants and grief. I don't want to go back. I want to help people, I say. Others like you who are suffering. Cursed, broken, lost. Cadmus smiles, his first real smile as a man. Then you shall be my royal healer. You'll have access to the kingdom's resources, royal gardens, ancient healing texts, anything you need. Royal healer, I breathe. And, Cadmus adds, voice dropping, intimate. You'll stay in the keep. Close to me. I'm not ready to let you go yet. I'm not ready to leave. He releases my hand reluctantly. I'll send someone to escort you to your new quarters. We'll talk once I've dealt with everything. I watch him leave. He looks back once, amber eyes finding mine. And in that look, I see gratitude, wonder, hope, and something like the beginning of love. 2 days later, peace shatters. I'm in my new quarters cataloging herbs when urgent pounding rattles my door. Lady Elira, you're needed in the throne room, immediately. My stomach drops. I follow through winding corridors to the great hall. Inside, chaos. A delegation of nobles stands before Cadmus's throne, southern lords by their colors. At their head, Lord Varric Blackthorn, one of the realm's most powerful alphas. This is an outrage, Blackthorn snarls. You disappear for 6 months, leaving the kingdom in disarray, then return with some half-blood nobody as your… what? Your healer? Your consort? I freeze in the doorway. Cadmus sits on his throne, regal in black and silver, tension visible in his shoulders. Lady Elira is my royal healer, he says evenly. Her position is not your concern. Everything about this kingdom is my concern, Blackthorn snaps. My house provided troops and resources during your absence, kept the southern borders secure while your council fumbled. We deserve answers, reassurance that you're fit to rule. I am king, Cadmus says, voice dropping dangerously. That is all the reassurance you require. A king who was cursed, who lost control, who spent 6 months as a beast. Blackthorn steps forward. How do we know it won't happen again? Murmurs ripple through assembled nobles. I see doubt. Fear. The curse is broken, Priestess Sylvain interjects. King Cadmus has fully returned. For now, another noble calls. But what guarantee? What proof? The proof stands before you, General Torval says firmly. His Majesty has been himself for 2 days. 2 days, Blackthorn scoffs. Forgive us if we need more than 2 days to trust our king's stability, especially when his miraculous recovery coincides with this herbalist's arrival. His tone makes it an insult. My hands clench. Lady Elira saved the king's life, the general says. She deserves respect. She deserves suspicion, Blackthorn counters. She appears from nowhere, a half-blood with no family, no connections, no credentials beyond folk remedies. Suddenly, she breaks a curse that defeated the kingdom's finest healers. It's convenient, too convenient. What are you suggesting? Cadmus's voice is ice. I'm suggesting, Blackthorn says slowly, that perhaps the curse was never truly broken. Perhaps this woman has learned to control it, to control you. Gasps Echo. My blood runs cold. That's absurd, I say, finding my voice. All eyes turn to me. I have no power over the king. I'm just a healer. Are you? Blackthorn's smile is cruel. Or something else? A witch, perhaps? Working with the Eastern covens? I am not a witch, I say firmly. I used herbs. Compassion. Nothing more. Prove it, another noble demands. If you truly broke the curse through natural means, show us. Let our healers examine your methods. Cadmus rises and the room falls silent. Enough. Lady Elira will not be subjected to an inquisition. She is under my protection. Your protection, Blackthorn says softly, may not be enough. Your Majesty, the Southern Lords represent 1/3 of your military strength. We're loyal. But loyalty requires trust. He looks at me. Prove the curse is truly broken. Prove you're not controlling him, or we'll be forced to consider alternatives. Is that a threat? Cadmus's power fills the room, making the air heavy. It's reality, Blackthorn says. We want our king back. The real king, not a puppet controlled by a half-blood witch. I feel every eye on me. The suspicion, the fear, the doubt. Saving Cadmus was only the beginning. Now I have to save his throne. You want proof? I step forward. I'll give you proof. Cadmus's head snaps toward me. Elira. The priestess can perform a binding truth ritual, I say to the nobles. Ancient magic, impossible to lie under its influence. Test me. If I'm what you fear, it will expose me. Priestess Sylvain's eyes widen. Lady Elira, the truth ritual strips away all defenses, all privacy. Everything you've ever done becomes visible. I know, but I have nothing to hide. This is unnecessary, Cadmus says. Please, I say softly. Let me do this. He looks at me for a long moment, then slowly nods. Priestess Sylvain draws chalk symbols on the floor. This will hurt, she warns. The magic will search your soul. She chants. Power wraps around me like chains, squeezing, probing. It digs deeper, pulling at memories, emotions, every secret I've kept. Then visions begin. Images from my life projected like ghosts. My childhood, my mother's death, my father teaching me herbs, the day he drowned, years alone, the summons, the first moment I saw Cadmus in beast form. Every moment we shared plays out. Me talking to him, treating his wounds, freeing him from chains, giving him dream veil, everything. And with the visions come my feelings, raw and exposed. Fear, compassion, growing connection, hope, love, love. I'm in love with him. It's there, undeniable, blazing in my chest. The visions show that too. The moment I realized I cared for him not just as a patient, but as a man. The moment his eyes made my heart race. The moment I decided I'd do anything to save him. The magic releases me. I collapse, gasping. Cadmus catches me. I've got you, he murmurs. Silence. Then Priestess Sylvain speaks. The truth has been shown. Lady Alira has no dark magic, no curses, no control. She is exactly what she claims, a healer who saved him through compassion and skill. Blackthorn's face is unreadable, and her feelings, Cadmus cuts him off, are no concern of yours. He helps me up, keeping one arm around me. Lady Alira has proven herself. She will remain as my royal healer, and he looks down at me. Something softens. If she'll have me, much more than that. Cadmus? He takes both my hands. Alira, you saved me when I was lost. You saw me when I was invisible. You loved me when I was unlovable. I don't know if we're fated mates or simply two broken souls finding each other. But I don't want to spend another day without you. His eyes are intense, vulnerable. Will you stay? Not as my healer, but as my partner? My equal? Tears blur my vision. Yes. He kisses me then, in front of the entire court, gentle and fierce, a claiming, but also a promise, a beginning. When we pull apart, the hall erupts in cheers. Even Blackthorn bows his head. Long live the king, and long live the royal healer. Standing in Cadmus's arms, I realize something profound. I'm not the forgotten half-blood anymore. I'm not the girl hiding in shadows. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. 3 months later, I stand in the same great hall where I first stood before a cursed king. But everything is different now. The hall is decorated for a celebration. Silver banners hang from the rafters, moon petal flowers fill every alcove, and the scent of roasted meat and spiced wine fills the air. The pack, my pack now, has gathered for the ceremony, my investiture as Luna. I wear robes of silver and white, the Luna sigil embroidered over my heart, a crescent moon cradling a single star. Cadmus stands beside me, resplendent in black and silver, his hand warm in mine. Are you nervous? He murmurs, his thumb stroking my knuckles. Terrified, I admit with a small smile. You faced a cursed beast with nothing but herbs and courage. I think you can handle this. The ceremony begins. Priestess Sylvain steps forward, carrying the Luna crown, a delicate circlet of silver decorated with moonstone. As she places it on my head, she speaks the ancient words. By the grace of the moon and the will of the pack, I present to you Luna Alira Ravencroft, healer, partner, and queen. The hall erupts in howls of allegiance and celebration. The sound washes over me, healing old wounds I didn't know still hurt. I scan the crowd and see faces I've come to know these past months. General Torval, now my friend and protector. Priestess Sylvain, who has become a mentor. The servants who once looked at me with suspicion and now smile with genuine warmth. And in the back, I see Lord Blackthorn. He still looks skeptical, but he bows his head in acknowledgement. It's not friendship, but it's respect. It's enough. After the formalities, Cadmus and I escape to the balcony overlooking the forest. The same forest where I once lived in isolation. The moon is bright, casting silver light over everything. Do you ever miss it? He asks softly. The quiet? Your cottage? I think for a moment, remembering the peace of those four walls. Sometimes, I admit, but it was the peace of a cage. I was safe, but I wasn't living. I turn in his arms, looking up at his face. You and this kingdom, you taught me how to live. How to be brave. How to be seen. He smiles, the expression transforming his features. And you, my love, taught me how to be saved. Taught me that weakness isn't something to fear, but something to accept. That being broken doesn't make you a monster. We saved each other, I say softly. We did. We stand there for a long moment, just holding each other under the moonlight. And I think about the girl I was, the forgotten half-blood, the silent shadow, the one no one wanted or chose. She would never believe this moment could exist, that she could be loved, honored, accepted, that her perceived weakness, her compassion, her gentleness, her quiet nature could become her greatest strength. But here I am, not chosen at a ceremony, not claimed by chance, but recognized by my soulmate and embraced by a kingdom that once rejected me. I love you, Cadmus whispers. I love you too, I whisper back. And I realize that my story was never about being unwanted. It was about waiting for the right person to see me, to truly see me. And when that moment came, when Cadmus looked into my eyes and recognized his match, everything changed. I was not chosen by the king. I was claimed by my equal. And together we rule not through power or fear, but through compassion and love, the greatest magic of all. In the distance, a wolf howls, then another, and another, until the entire forest sings with the sound. A celebration, an acceptance, a new beginning. I am no longer the forgotten half-blood herbalist. I am Luna Elira Ravencroft, healer, queen, beloved, and I am finally completely home.